And hello there, everybody. Once again, welcome back to. I guess I don't really have like a name for the series that I'm doing. I'm just calling it
No.
like Fraggin and Megan watching E3 or something, exploring the show floors. I'm titling it different things depending on what's actually being seen. But
Yeah.
yeah, still, welcome back anyway, where Megan and I are watching more E3 stuff. Today, we're going to be going through two press conferences. Did I say that right? Press conferences? Yeah. Kind of. And I say kind of because I could only find about 6 minutes of the Microsoft one. But like I could find the full ones for Nintendo. Well, I think the full one for Microsoft or Nintendo and the full one for Sony. So we're going to be going through those today. Not all in one video, but I will I will probably combine Microsoft and Nintendo just because, this is like 6 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, Megan is here too, of course.
Yes, I am.
Sorry, I was kind of talking a lot, too much, in fact. Excuse me.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
So, yeah, we're going to start off with the Microsoft E3 2001 press conference. We're finally in the year 2001, Megan. We get to see all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm curious about this. I want to just double check. I do not have it. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Microsoft. Oh, wait, hold on. Just because, for the sake of consistency, this was uploaded by a man named Rick1138. That's Rick with no C but AK. Yeah, I'm wondering. I do kind of wonder how people find this stuff, right? I'm kind of curious. Anyway, let's actually get this on to go.
Yeah.
That on November the 8th in the North American market, you'll be able to go into.
Okay, so that's the proper Xbox.
And you'll be able to get a box just like this with Xbox in it. This is going to be a momentous event for the industry and for Microsoft. And we're very excited about that.
Yes, this one kind of cuts through.
To 1.5 million units of Xbox will be sold.
If I can find the full one, we'll watch that. But I've looked. I can't seem to find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Xbox will launch in North America on November 8th. We're excited to report that we're going to have 50 to 100% more units than Sony had with their PlayStation 2 launch. And for $299, people are going to be super excited by what they get. And we know we're going to be able to sell as many units as we can produce.
Confidence.
Weapon for Xbox is its online game capabilities.
I mean, that is true, though.
Designed from the ground up to be perfect.
Like, that is actually accurate.
Gaming. And that is the future of gaming. And we think is going to bring some very.
And he's right. It was the future of gaming for sure.
Yeah.
Xbox games rock because they create an environment of realism with sound and graphics and gameplay that people have never seen before. And when you add online gameplay to that, it's going to create an entire new experience for people. Well, and that's why we say with Xbox.
Yeah, that's a weird cut.
What was the point of having that clip?
I have no idea.
Oh.
It really is.
I'll leave the floor.
With $500 million to spend.
Oh, Halo. I have a separate video for Halo, actually. We'll watch it here, but like, I'll still probably watch that one. It's like a minute or something. Unless this is it, then maybe I won't.
That's a move.
Yeah, it's pretty inaccurate.
Yeah, they're doing the gamer thing. Oh, I forgot how big the Xbox controller was.
Yeah, the original Xbox controller was super big. They did come out with a, like, what I would call the modern Xbox controller. Like, later, because, like, it then kind of became just a slightly thicker version of, like, what the 360s would become. And now we have, that's basically the design they've kept. But yeah, the original Xbox's controller was huge. I have one, actually. I still have one of the original controllers.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the logic was. Like, cause like the logo is so big on the controller. Like, it's almost like I guess when they were housing the controller and the parts for the controller, maybe they couldn't really find a way to compact it more, so they put the logo there to make it not look awkward.
Maybe. That
But
could have
it's
been
just
why.
huge. Like, it's gotta be at least like 2 inches all the way around. Or 3 inches, maybe.
Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah. I like how those are the same 2 kids that did the Halo one.
Yeah. Well, you notice how they're not kids though; they're teens, right?
I mean, that's true. They were appealing to a bit older of an audience.
Yeah. So you can kind of see what demographic they're aiming for with this too. Hey, you can die, Abe.
Run, Abe, run!
Dead or
Alive
Alive 3.
free.
Now, do they mention the booba? Do the teens
I don't
mention the
know.
booba?
Hmm. They're definitely going for the cool vibe, similar to like Mortal Kombat or something. Oh.
NASCAR Heat. I think I do have that one. Or I have a NASCAR Heat. I don't know why. See, I used to like I used to enjoy playing NASCAR games. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I can't say I've played a NASCAR one.
Man, look at it. Look how chunky that controller is, dude.
It's so chunky.
You know, honestly though, the thing that I find really weird is they got rid of the black and white button, right?
Yeah.
Like eventually, because that was like weirdly enough their like one unique thing. I feel like controllers, kind of back then, like each of the companies had like their unique thing for their controller.
Yeah.
Like GameCube kept its like XY button. PlayStation just kind of had, well, I guess was kind of considered the standard now. In general, like it's R1, R2, etc.
Yeah.
But instead of R1, R2, what did Xbox have? A black and white button, right?
Yeah.
Then they got rid of that and they just copied Sony with R1, R2. But they call it different. They call it RB and RT instead of R1 and R2, right?
Yeah, and I swear to this day I still forget which one's which when I'm playing on an Xbox controller.
I mean, fair. That'll happen. So yeah, if anybody out there ever finds like the full one of these, I have checked. I can't find it anywhere. It has to exist because it's here. Someone got these clips from something, and it looks like it's not like all shot by handheld. I thought it was. Maybe just a little clip I saw made me think that. But it's out there somewhere, right? But I can't find it. I've even Googled it. I can't find it on Google. It's not on like Dailymotion or anything that I can find. So if anyone finds it, I will. Well, we will go back and watch it because I'd be really curious to see the full thing.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what kind of presentations they had for the games. Like obviously the games we saw are probably pretty much their entirety of their conference, I imagine.
Yeah. But I mean, see, it's funny though. Like out of all the ones they showed, Halo was really the only one that kind of stuck. I feel, right? Like Dead or Alive, but I mean, Dead or Alive 3, right? It's already established. Well, I guess so is Oddworld, but I don't know. There's something about like Halo that just like really stuck it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're like Blinks. Blinks who? Oh, Master Chief. Yeah, he's our mascot now. You know?
Yeah. One day I will play Blinks.
One day you will, and one day I will too. So this one's so the next one's kind of unique. So we're sticking with the. Well, see, here's the other thing, right? They have like I don't know if this is at E3 or not, mind you, but it's kind of weird. It's The Rock and Bill Gates unveiling the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know where this is. Technically, I probably should have done this one first. Whatever, it's fine. We're doing it slightly out of order. But I don't think this one was at E3. This one was probably somewhere else, but it has The Rock in it, and I thought that was kind of funny. Like the old Rock. The classic WWF Rock back when he had hair. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this one next. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're unveiling the Xbox. This is the product that will be out later this year, and there's an amazing amount going on. Working with partners who help build the hardware, working with the software.
Now, is The Rock gonna be The Rock though? I feel like I feel like especially back then, wrestlers are like typically on,
but the box
like in
itself,
character when they went out to do this stuff.
Thing that we put a lot of energy into.
Probably,
So
yeah.
You may have been wondering what
I'm
this
gonna turn down a
great
smidge.
device was here.
Yeah, it's louder
This
than the other
is
one.
the Xbox.
It is. Is that better
So,
now?
For the first time,
Yeah.
let me now unveil Xbox.
Ooh. Controller on full display. Man, it's so big. It's so big. Yeah, when you see it next to the console, though, it looks like especially huge.
It does.
As I said, the design here was driven by spending time with gamers and actually putting the control in their hands. We tried out over 100 different form factors, to find what was the most comfortable and would give them the best game.
You didn't do a good job.
The game that you've played before. One of the unbelievable things here is that we have.
I mean, they did a solid attempt for their first try.
I mean, for their first try, but they got it so much better with the smaller controller that they came out with later.
Oh, they did.
The eject, the on-off button.
Like I said, it's basically become their standard now.
That was one of the big pieces
Yeah.
of feedback.
Although to be fair, them doing like the asymmetrical analog sticks was also kind of new at this time, I think too.
That is true. That was different.
This box includes a rumble.
And now, honestly, aside from PlayStation, it's kind of become the standard.
What's going on? You're feeling that.
That is true.
Or that crash or that intensity actually comes through the controller itself. This is a totally digital device, and so off the back, we've got the digital connector that goes out to the TV. We support HD TV. Or all the other connections you've got. The resolution here is.
So apparently, the first generation Xbox controller was nicknamed the Duke.
Will have an HD TV, but this thing is ready for them when they get
That's
it.
funny.
Oh, so the smaller controller, called the controller S, was sold and bundled with the console in Japan.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then was later released at the end of 2003. And had replaced the first-gen controller worldwide.
Oh, okay, so they only kept that controller for literally a couple years. It's not too bad.
No, it's not, but I just found it funny how it took like 2 years, and then they're like, okay, this one's actually superior. So
I don't know, maybe they thought the controller sales were a lot higher in Japan.
Maybe.
Right as we finish the manufacturing, so we'll plug those chips in. Except for that, everything in this box is the final design.
Hey, Rock. Woo, Rocky!
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Yeah, I might want to use that sometime, Bill.
Well, thanks, Rock. And it really is an honor to have you here. Believe it or not, I'm a big fan of yours. For instance, I know that you're a 5-time WWF champion. Not to mention one of the top entertainers in the world.
Very true.
Bill, I'm very flattered. I'm a big fan of yours as well. For instance, The Rock knows you're the chairman and chief software architect of the Microsoft Corporation, a leading worldwide provider of software for the personal computer.
Thank you, Rock. I'm very flattered myself.
By creating Windows in 1983, a multitasking graphical user interface environment that runs on MS-DOS-based computers along with Windows NT and Windows 2000, completely self-contained operating systems that feature networking, symmetric multi-processing, multi-threading, and security. Bill, you've certainly revolutionized the technology we know today.
Good job, Rock.
You know, I would be really impressed if that was actually all improv, but it was probably just from a prompter.
I don't know, potentially. I mean, dude was really good at improv.
You also like golf.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, I mean, it's basically wrestling for you, right? And he was really good at it.
The future of video games.
I wanted to show you some of his old WWF stuff.
Never cease to amaze
Yeah.
Never cease to amaze The Rock. You're right again. Today isn't about you. It's about the new Xbox. And quite frankly, I couldn't be more excited. The Xbox is everything The Rock is. Cutting edge, powerful, exhilarating. It will be
Okay,
the
that's
most
cheesy.
electrifying thing coming out this year. And what The Rock is to sports entertainment, to the WWF, the Xbox will be to the video game industry a breakthrough and certainly.
I really wonder why they got The Rock. I mean, he was really big at the time for sure,
But I'm pretty damn
but
impressed with what we're seeing here
I just found it
today.
really interesting.
Considering that this Xbox at this moment
Well, they
is
probably
only
got him
based on
because he's big
1/5
at the
of its
time, and I
power,
mean, it's possible
very
that they had some kind of WWF wrestling title coming out near
what The Rock
launch
would be
too.
like if he were only running on 1/5 of his power?
Well, I would think that
It doesn't matter what you
think?
Bill.
Yeah, good job. That's
Cool.
what he did in WWF all the time.
I'm
He
sorry, Bill.
he would interrupt people and go, "It doesn't matter," and then he would like interrupt them. It was really funny.
No, The Rock, even at 1/5
Yeah.
of his power, would still blow everybody out of the water, just like the Xbox. It is truly the future of video games, and I'm very excited to simply be a part of it. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
There you go. He said the line.
great job.
Okay, that was good just for The Rock, honestly.
That was pretty fun, yeah.
I like how they even gave him his music too.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was really good. Now I have the Halo at the press conference. This might just be the same thing.
It might be, but we'll see.
It looks like it is. There might be more to it. Nah, there might be more to it. We'll just watch it. Why not? It's like 1 minute and 50 seconds. Yeah,
That's a cute little Master Chief.
Yeah. That's when he came out. No. Oh no, this is just same thing.
Your games will never
Okay.
be the same. And we're working on it. We're gonna get
Well, there we go. Then see, we don't need to watch this one then. You know what? Deleted. Get out of here. We're going on to Nintendo now. Oh, to be fair, this one I didn't. So this one I actually didn't like proof watch. I meant to, because from a channel, I don't know if he talks over it. I assume he doesn't. If he does, they'll find something else, and then I'll cut this out so you won't know my shame. But it's from a dude, and the only thing that made me question it, and maybe I'm thinking like, why he might talk over it. I don't know if he does. He's like, we'll be giving away a game of choice. I wonder what game they chose. Oh boy, fan mail? Man, anyway. I mean, I never said who did the console reveal with The Rock. I was too into the Rock. Neo Gamer, the video game archive. I may have to check that out later. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and this one's uploaded by Cruisin' MJD Productions. Excuse me, I'm drinking a pop right now. All right, I apologize. It's hot. It's hot out. I just wanted some kind of cold sip, and Megan was not offering me any of hers today, so we just went with my own.
I don't have cold sip. I had to put some more in the fridge. Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
I think you know what. I think this guy does have his logo at the start. Let's watch it because it seemed really long and like overdone. No offense to you, Kuzin. See, I don't know what. Okay, what? Go ahead.
I say this is back to the era of YouTube where everyone did that kind of stuff.
See, hold on. When did this come out? 2021.
Really? I would have thought that would have been longer ago because I remember back like in I want to say around like 2012, 2013, everyone was doing like 30-second intros with their own little animations and stuff.
I mean, true. That was definitely like a more classic thing. So I'm not gonna go ahead and kind of listen. I'm not gonna hate on people's intros, but some people make their intros too long. You're getting a hot take from me here. Some people make their intros too long. I like mine where it's like 5 seconds or something, right? The sign comes down, birds tweet for like a little bit, and then it just goes. I like that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do more than like 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, like I remember, like I think I don't know if I actually told Spike this. I think he just did it when he made my intro naturally, and I was like, okay, that's a good length because I didn't want it to be long. Anyway, shall we actually watch this? I apologize. We went on a bit of a tangent there.
A little bit.
So yeah, the Nintendo press conference at E3.
I'm Peter May, Executive Vice President, Nintendo of America. With me this morning on my right is Mr. Satoru Iwata.
It's him. It is he.
Nintendo Board of Directors
Yeah.
and the head
First
of all
appearance.
Nintendo planning worldwide. Mr. Iwata will be making some comments in a few moments. We intend to spend the next hour
And there he goes.
showing you the very best
Man, rest in peace to that legend, dude.
Video game consoles.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take
Also
your
the
questions
Nintendo
for about
difference,
30
huh?
minutes.
Apparently.
Take a very brief recess for those of you who have other deadlines and events to attend, and we'll carry on with further Q&A for media and analysts for perhaps up to another 30 minutes. This unquestionably is an extremely exciting day in the history of video games, and Nintendo says that with the perspective of over 20 years of exciting days in interactive entertainment.
As they're trying to use their leverage of being one of the first.
Nintendo is absolutely
Seems like it.
that both Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube are going to be huge, and I underscore huge, marketplace successes, no matter what any other manufacturer is planning to do.
Poor guy.
This is due
Didn't know the
both to
GameCube didn't
superior
sell super well.
Game Boy Advance
And yet it was such a
Nintendo
good
GameCube
console, too. I really
and
love the
games that
GameCube.
play on them, but it also is
Honestly, I think
supported
it just
with
came down to the
strategies that
competition
underlie
and the
them.
fact that the PlayStation also had a
Inside
DVD
Nintendo,
player.
we offer
A lot
Yeah.
of people would have bought it just for that.
Well, that's the thing, too, right? Like, the Xbox and the PlayStation had a DVD player in it.
At this show, we're going to go public
So,
about
that is a good point.
It's essentially
Because at this point, you had a lot of people, like, actually, my family was one of these, where it's like, you know, didn't have a DVD player because they're really expensive. So it's like
Yeah.
you had me who played video games, and my parents knew I wanted, like, a PS2. Because, you know, gamer.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of worked out. It's like, okay, you get a PS2, the family gets a DVD player, it all kind of works out, right?
Yeah.
Smash hit proprietary game development. Today you can look at the worldwide video game business as basically having three components. The first are
Oh, so that's quite the speech he's got. It's gotta be a good stack of paper.
Yeah, no, it's very thick.
First-time players, pre-teens, early teens, and a growing number of parents.
So once again, though, you notice how Nintendo's still doing the thing where it's like, we're for everybody.
People in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
This by far is the backbone of the business, over 80% of the tonnage, and an area that Nintendo has traditionally had a stronghold on. The second one, of course, is the targeted console market aiming at the avid players in their late 20s, or late teens and early 20s. And we may have been a little less aggressive with this group in the past, but as you're going to see here today, and on the show floor starting tomorrow, Nintendo clearly has this game in their game sites now. And then finally, of course, there's the handheld sector.
Yep.
A full
They had the monopoly on that.
25% of the worldwide video
Yeah.
game business, and the only sector
I'm kind of
that
wondering
has
what Game Boy Advance
shown
games they might show
growth
off.
over these past 2 years.
Yeah, I'd be kind of curious,
As
too.
you know, Nintendo just doesn't have leadership
Because I'll admit,
in
I
this
don't really
area.
know a lot of stuff that came out this
We
time,
have
aside from like
absolute ownership.
Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire.
If there's any doubt about
I mean, we'll
the
definitely see some of that for sure.
It's been answered with Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance. In Japan, as you know, we launched on March 21, and in just the 5 weeks till April 30th, we have sold through an incredible 1.6 million pieces of hardware and 3.1 million pieces of software. It's an absolute smash hit. And get
I mean, it
ready,
was.
America,
That is true.
because here it comes on June
I mean,
11th.
honestly, that's not bad. They got almost 2 games per system they
We
sold.
already have pre-sale orders in excess of 200,000 units. We're set to deliver 500,000 pieces.
So to give some stats for E3 2001.
Following that.
So once again, the main presenters are now Microsoft, Nintendo, Sega still in it, and Sony.
4 million pieces of
Yeah.
And it is 62,000 people were in attendance, which is pretty
Oh, wow.
high, especially considering the highest they had before was like,
Super Mario Advance,
well, I guess 57,000 in like 96, but
along with
Yeah.
other
still for the moment, this is the highest they've had. This is the most they've had.
games. And all of that
I could see them getting more this year just because of the unveiling of the Xbox too. Right?
Yeah.
over 10,000 displays already installed at retail
And still the LA Convention Center, of course.
promotions,
Yeah.
saturation TV,
The tried and true.
online and
Tried and true.
all under the marketing banner of Life Advanced. But I know the real reason you're all here today is the worldwide debut of Nintendo GameCube. We think
Here it
to,
comes.
fully explain the import of Nintendo GameCube, we'd like to spend a couple of moments first expanding upon the strategy which underlies this phenomenal new product. So I'd now like to call upon Mr. Iwata.
Rip.
Thank you, Peter, and welcome everyone. All of us at Nintendo
Dude, this is making me sad, actually.
Been working on the
Oh.
Gamecube project over the past several years. Are excited to be able to share the magic with you today for the first time anywhere. Nintendo has strong views on how we should run our company.
Google Captions actually did a really good job.
Above all,
Yeah.
a game-based entertainment
I thought I would struggle a bit with someone with a thicker accent, but
he's
doing fine.
Other people who make video game systems
I mean, it might be just the way that things are translated too, right?
Maybe.
Because Google Translate might use a very similar technique that an actual translator would use.
So I want to point some out here real quick, right?
before coming to Nintendo.
Notice how you're right. They are utilizing the fact that they're a game company, right? Whereas
Yeah.
Sony and Microsoft are a technology company.
How?
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, we make games. We don't just do technology,
That in our business,
which is smart,
almost
right?
impossible to create a game
Yeah.
that catched up with technology, even if 20 people are working together without a day off.
Oh
This
no.
is because the technology you start with
Doesn't really age well from like how hard Japanese workers are like made to work
No.
in Japan.
among the first projects
Yeah.
I designed was a game for original Nintendo Entertainment System. The memory for that game cartridge was 64 kilobits. By the
Kilobits, huh?
time Super Mario 64 arrived for Nintendo 64 5 years ago, cartridge memory had multiplied by 1,000 times.
Oh well.
Today, some game graphics already are as realistic as television. There is not much more designers can do to impress
Oh.
players only.
See, you can only get that from back in the day, right?
Here is another
You know?
problem.
But like you
Yeah.
think like, oh, we've peaked already, when in actuality, no, they can look much better.
There are a couple of reasons for this. Independent developers need to spend millions of dollars to create the best 3D graphics. Then, if they succeed,
Yeah. Because like I know it's just marketing speech, but I'm kind of surprised that they would think that they peaked at the GameCube. Because like I don't know. I feel like there was so much you could do if you're trying to actually create realism like they kind of did with the PS3 and PS4 gens.
Yeah. Well, but that's just the thought from back in the day, right? Like, I'm pretty sure everybody thought, like, and we've talked about this before too. I'm pretty sure everybody
Yeah.
just at one point thought, okay, we've peaked, and then like, well, no, a new system comes out, and then it's like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
And while this is happening, many competitors are copying the design of that.
Well, and that's the big thing too with even a lot of retro games, as we talked like in the previous years. Like seeing something like that for the first time, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Let's go down just a smidge, just so I can hear Megan a little bit better.
Yeah, it's okay. It was a little loud.
Many sequels from a few hit games. And almost every hit game playing on every console. As a result, what lessons are we teaching our customers, our players? We think these often do not trust what you see. Because a game which looks good on a TV ad or in a store may not entertain you for very long.
I wonder if this is when he gives his famous quote of saying to, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. It's something to the extent where like a game shipped broken will always be broken.
Maybe.
And finally,
You might say that here.
it does not really matter which machines you choose. They all play the same games. And if that happens, console makers find themselves in a commodity business. Like TVs or VCRs, there is no reason for players to choose one over another except for price. In all this, if
become frustrated.
No, just a smidge more.
And this is dangerous to our industry because people do not need video games to exist.
Me.
Lies.
If they become too poor,
Okay, I'm actually kidding,
they will
but
just go away.
just
They're
in
pretty good,
case
though.
anyone thinks I'm being
We
obsessive
need
or
a
something, I'm
obligation
not.
to fight these trends. And how do we do that? With what we call the Nintendo difference. In our minds, the Nintendo difference has 4 layers.
Honestly, I wonder how long they used that catchphrase for, because I don't really remember hearing about that.
The first is
I don't
innovation.
either.
Our goal is always to do something different.
That holds up to today even.
Thought of before.
Yeah.
They're definitely the one company that strives to do something different every single generation of consoles.
Inventions work better than
Yeah.
others. But we never stop trying
Honestly, I
to
think that's
innovate.
probably a big part of the appeal of Nintendo and their games in general, is that they're not really afraid to try something new and kind of wow players over and over again.
That
Yeah.
brings fresh, surprise, and joy. I like that. Next, we demand the highest quality from our games. Normally, Nintendo does not publish the most games, but regularly, we are responsible for the most popular games.
Yeah,
Today,
actually, I could agree.
First and second party
Yeah.
development staff are by far the strongest and most accomplished of any manufacturer in the world.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying, to be honest.
This includes talent at firms
Yeah.
like Rare in England, Retro
Eventually you'll lose those.
in the United States,
Yeah.
Gonna lose Rare, and that's gonna be the death of Rare.
and HAL, Creatures, Game Freak, and Intelligent Systems in Japan.
Okay, it started a little bit with how creatures.
Just
A little bit. And
Uh,
generic from Game Freak.
world's most popular video
Yeah.
game characters and franchises.
No, that's 100% true. They definitely have the most recognizable game characters of all time.
And
Yeah, no, they definitely have a good philosophy when it comes to character design that makes them very memorable.
known around the world. Here, the Nintendo difference is obvious. If you want these stars, you simply cannot have them unless you own the Nintendo machine. The final leg is heritage. This year, we are introducing our 4th Nintendo home console, and every one of them has succeeded around the world. And of course, Game Boy has outsold any other game machines ever.
Mm.
I believe we know more about what makes great games than anyone else. And this is why Nintendo succeeds.
Man, I kind of feel bad knowing that they're gonna
Nintendo difference.
start going down a bit of a
We are only an entertainment company.
negative-ish path, because I know, like, even the Wii, even though it sold a lot,
Entertainment company anywhere.
I always heard people say, like, oh yeah, mine's gathering dust.
Due to what is
Right.
unquestionably the best
Yeah, like it sold a lot
pure
and had a
video
lot of
console
really
ever
good
developed.
first-party titles, but
I have
the
the
way they
honor of
advertised the Wii
introducing
and the games that were on the
world's
Wii, it was
best
very much a
pure
casual
video game
machine.
creator.
So a lot of
Ladies
people,
and
especially the
gentlemen, welcome
diehards,
to
probably
Nintendo's
stopped using it
Shigeru
for a while.
Miyamoto.
Yeah. Shigeru Miyamoto!
Yeah.
Let's go. But yeah, and like I said, even the GameCube, I don't think the GameCube sold super well. Oh, there it is. Holding it by the handle.
Yeah.
As we predicted.
Yep.
Megan and I were talking a bit
Yeah.
about this beforehand. Oops.
A little bit. We just thought it was kind of interesting that because of their demographic of them making a lot of couch co-op games, that they designed the console with portability in mind and put the handle on it.
Yeah.
It's small.
It will make a lot of noise.
I do like how they picked such a fun, like, purple color for the GameCube. It's pretty interesting.
It is.
From Nintendo of America.
Now, which of our most popular characters should be ready to appear in games when Nintendo GameCube comes to market?
Oh, what are you gonna show us?
We think we've got a great answer. Take a look.
Oh, what are we gonna see? Mario? Yeah. Oh, it's Smash. That's right.
Yeah, okay, so Melee would have been a launch title. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I forgot Melee was the launch title. One of the most popular games of the GameCube, dude. Even now, it's still like one of the most popular Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure. And I always love this intro too. This intro is so good for it.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's pretty cool. It's nice to see all the different characters. I do like how they kind of took the approach, instead of being like little action figures, the more like little like tabletop pieces.
Yeah.
Well, that, and they're also showcasing a lot of different characters, which is pretty cool.
It is.
That one guy in the crowd's really happy.
Oh yeah. He really loves Kirby.
Earthbound, yeah. I like how they're even showing some of the alternate skins too.
Mm-hmm. Get ready. Okay, this actually made me pretty happy to see. I forgot how much I enjoyed Melee. Alright, now we're gonna show the. Now, yeah, this would look really good, dude.
Yeah.
Because yeah, say what you remember the GameCube, their games did look pretty good for the most part, right?
Yeah. So, hypothetical for you.
Huh?
Do you think Nintendo would ever try to remake Melee?
I don't think you could really remake a Smash Bros, could you? I don't know if it would really make sense.
I mean, possibly not now that we
But-
got Ultimate, because it has all the characters, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting if they did, like, recreated them with their original movesets, right?
I mean, it would be really interesting if they do like mostly just like a graphic overhaul, but kept a lot of things the same. I could see it selling well, to be honest.
I mean, I'm sure it would.
Had like super realistic looking Bowser there too. I forgot he looked so
Yeah.
like realistic for some reason.
Rock and punch!
But yeah, it's an
We were-
interesting thought though.
Yeah. When we were younger on the original N64 Smash Bros., my cousins and I would go and play Captain Falcon,
Uh-huh.
and we would try and, like, Falcon punch each other to see who could knock each other out. We weren't allowed to use any other move.
Okay, that's very funny.
Uh,
But I started pausing. I started making it was getting a bit muffled, and it seems like when I pause, that goes away. So
yeah.
if making every starts to sound muffled, I'm probably gonna pause, which
That's
is
fair.
perfectly fine. I just want Megan to be heard, especially when she's
Yeah.
telling the story. I did send her a link, by the way, to possibly fix that, because I actually remembered this time. We just haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
We'll take a look and see what might be causing it. If it is even something that can be fixed. And by the way, don't let that stop you from talking, by the way. I don't want you to feel self-conscious.
Well, it's okay.
They really dug for that one.
That was cool. That was cool to see.
15 years later, I smell this bag.
Nearly all of Nintendo's popular characters have been vividly brought to life on the Nintendo GameCube. You've seen Super Smash Brothers here. Tomorrow you can actually play it on the show floor.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to make games like this for Nintendo GameCube, the kind that you can play with your friends and your family. Now we're going to take a quick glance at our next game.
Oh, what do they have?
It's the next in the Mario series.
Oh, Sunshine.
Ooh.
The
This must be
legendary
Sunshine, yeah.
Sunshine. No, no, Luigi's Mansion. That's right.
Oh,
I forgot.
right.
Yeah. Oh, dude, now this would have been such a surprise. Oh my god, I love Luigi's Mansion. Wow, interesting. They had like a fully different video for this too, for promo.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I forgot like how good him opening a door looks in this game. Like where he like puts the key in and like goes to like touch the knob. Holy
Yeah.
crap, that looks so good. Like it's weird to say like that looks really good, but man, that actually made me go, wow. This is like the pinnacle of video games.
We have Pete.
I don't know how they're just kind of like showing off like generally what you're supposed to do. They haven't done the vacuum stuff yet. That's probably going to be like, there you go. Now they're doing it. Yeah, like the big thing, right? Because that does look really good still.
It does. Oh.
The boss ghosts.
Money.
Yeah, and the breath. That's right. Yeah, that would look really amazing for the time.
Yeah.
And the scary Luigi. That's right.
Is that a ghost or what?
Nah, that was like supposed to be on the game over screen, but they found it was too scary, so they got rid of it.
Oh,
Before the
okay. I
game
was
was
gonna say, I
released.
haven't seen that before.
He won this mansion in a contest. When we went to see this mansion, he found that it was haunted.
Oh no.
And Mario, who should have gotten there first, was nowhere to be found.
Well, Mario is missing. Hold on. I've heard about that game.
Looking doctor telling Luigi he needs to get rid of all the ghosts to save Mario. Now, using this game as an example, I'm going to introduce the Gamecube controller. This is the standard controller. And this one is wireless. This is the way
Oh yeah, I forgot they have the wireless controls. That would have been pretty innovative for the time.
That would have been, yeah.
But I'll say 15 feet for now just to be safe.
I still like the controller for the GameCube. It's very comfy.
It is a very nice controller.
And I do love how like the triggers have that feel to it, right? Like they have like just enough, like I don't know, they just feel so good. And you get that nice click. It's so good.
Yeah.
Please refer to the two screens to follow along with my explanation. We'll be using a laser pointer to help you out. And I'll explain each part of the controller. Now on the left side, located in the center, is the control stick. Now this center position makes it the easiest place for you to control. Now this, the angle of this grip may seem
You know, I know earlier you said like, oh, the Xbox kind of like innovated the non-parallel like analog sticks. GameCube was doing that too, actually. Now that I'm like looking at it.
They did, but I'd say the big difference is that the C stick was more like
True.
particular button presses rather than a true analog stick like the Xbox, right?
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, they did do the alternate thing. I'm surprised Sony never tried that.
I mean, they knew their controller was just too good.
I mean, it's pretty nice.
the B, the X button, and the Y button. Now with the A button as the home position, you will never press the wrong button. You don't even have to look at them. Now next,
I guess that is a good approach, right? If you make all the buttons different shapes and sizes, it's pretty easy for someone to tell which button they're hitting without really looking.
integrate
Yeah.
into a single C stick. This will be used mostly for camera controls, but in Luigi's Mansion, we'll be using it to move Luigi around the screen. C-stick, it then becomes more difficult to press the A button and the other buttons on the face. So in that case, you'll be using these buttons on the top more. The L button, the R button, and this little Z button here. Can you see that? Now the L and the R button are analog press switches. When you press them all the way in, there is one more click you can make, kind of a turbo button. See? Click, 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 click. You can try this on the show floor yourselves tomorrow. Now the Z button is going to be a simple button, especially when used in conjunction with the C stick. And finally, we have our traditional plus control pad. Oh, and we also have the start pause button in the center of the controller. Now when you first take a look at this controller, it may seem kind of complicated. But when you actually get your hands on it, you're going to see just how simple it really is.
I guess that's true. It does look a bit more complex, but it really isn't.
Oh, and the rumble feature, which we introduced with the N64, has been built into this controller.
Definite. It's like, hey, we introduced the rumble that now everybody uses.
Looking forward to seeing how all the game designers
Yeah.
made creative and innovative, simple use of this new controller.
You know, I do find it interesting that they innovated on the Rumble, considering they also came with the adaptive Rumble for the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Even though most games don't use it.
I was gonna say, I don't recall the adapter rumble in the Switch.
Well, it's like very particular Rumble in the Switch, like where you could tell where in the controller it's going. It's part of the stuff they had in 1-2 Switch as well.
Okay, interesting.
Like I remember in particular when it came out, there's this one mini game where you have like a container with balls in it, and like as you tilt the controller, you can kind of feel them moving through it, and you have to try and guess how many balls are inside.
Okay. Interesting.
But I don't think most Switches really take advantage of it, or most Switch games, I should say. Even showing off the classic Gamecube sound.
I mean, people love it.
I mean, it's really smart. I love how it just sounds like you're running down a set of stairs or something.
Yeah, like a cartoony sound effect for that, yeah.
Yeah.
First, we're going to get some advice from the doctor here by pressing the A button. Okay, we're inside the mansion. It's a little dark inside, so Luigi's using a flashlight.
Dude, this is so cool.
Now
Oh, this is back when they had the timer.
the control stick to move Luigi's direction.
You can
they
see
had
where
a
it says
timer?
AM.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think in the original idea for the game, you were actually timed,
That's where we're using the C stick.
where you had to beat the game in like an actual certain amount of time. Like you had till 6 a.m. or something, I think. I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
And that's used to control the vacuum.
But they got rid of it because they didn't want the players to feel rushed,
Of course, we also
right?
have that turbo.
That's a very Nintendo thing.
This hallway here.
It would have been cool if they came out with like some kind of challenge mode with the timer, though.
Now, just like
That would have been.
the ghosts are going to appear behind Luigi.
I remember something about that timer. Something. Maybe it was originally going to be in real time as well, or there was something where I don't remember. I think there was something about it that was interesting.
Shine the light on the two-way.
I think there was a thing that they were either planning on doing or had like
The idea is to
a separate game mode
in at that moment.
where you could only play it between like certain hours of the day to emulate
okay.
like the game in real life, right?
Yeah.
I don't fully remember, but I remember something really weird and interesting about that. And it's like, well, good thing I got rid of it.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never liked it when games do that, where you can only play particular game modes at specific times.
Yeah.
You can suck up these mice too.
No! The little guys.
not very good at this game yet.
You know, the greatest thing Nintendo has, honestly, is Miyamoto. He's always so fun to see at these shows.
And again, as if you shine the light too long on the ghost,
Yeah.
it's just gonna disappear. We'll come back this way. The bathroom. Hey, you can even move the curtain here.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, it's moved.
Great. That's what I was missing.
And if we try to suck the curtain from this side,
You can do it, Miyamoto.
I like how this is from the era where they actually played game demos and they just try and fake it.
Yeah.
there's no one there.
Oh.
Also in this game, we use the L button. You're not going to see these features on the version we have on the show floor tomorrow. So today's kind of a sneak preview.
Oh.
See, you can spray water out like this. And
That wasn't in the actual game, was it?
No, it was, yeah. It was the power up you could get.
Okay.
You have to use it to solve certain puzzles.
Okay.
But you will be able to play this tomorrow on the show floor. So I hope you'll enjoy these kind of creepy lighting and shadow effects that we've put on the Gamecube here. So take some time tomorrow to take a look at it. Oh, there is one more thing about the controller. I was forgetting that.
No, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
This Game Boy Advance. As you know, it's going to be launched in the US next month. And this will be able to be used as a Nintendo GameCube controller. Now, we're not going to give you any real concrete examples about that at this show. But as with the single pack multiplayer modes on Game Boy Advance, you're not going to need an extra cartridge to use it as a controller. So it's going to be very easy to use. We'll be showing you some new ideas with this at our next show, so you can look forward to that too.
Back into the pocket it goes.
Yeah.
It sounds like
I mean, you can't lose your prototype a month before launch.
I'll be back later, but I'm going to duck back there for now.
Bye, Miyamoto. Oh my god, it's so good.
When he referred to the next show, he did not mean next E3. He was referring to Space World Tokyo August. You're going to be seeing a lot more of what this is all about. So that's just a first look at what comes out of this incredible Nintendo GameCube. I'd now like Mr. Iwata to come back up and tell you a couple of the secrets about what's so special inside of the GameCube. Mr. Iwata.
There is one more important example of the Nintendo difference I would like to address. It has to do with how Nintendo GameCube was designed.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
You will allow me a couple of minutes to explain.
Yeah, I would like to hear it.
In 1996, when Mr. Miyamoto introduced Super Mario 64, many people said Mr. Miyamoto showed for the first time what real 3D games could look like. But at the same time, Mr. Miyamoto and his team became the first people to fully understand how difficult programming in 3D can be.
Yeah.
3D graphics certainly can be pretty to look at, but usually not so pretty to create. For developers, they are complicated.
Yeah, I can imagine that being a big learning hurdle for a lot of studios.
Yeah.
We say that game designers are often fighting against their own machines. And the more time they spend fighting machines,
Honestly, I kind of wonder if we're going through a second phase of that to an extent between 3D games and VR.
Probably. I could see us going through kind of a new phase of that.
unique about the project.
But I kind of feel like at this point, VR games have been out long enough that they probably crossed that hurdle a bit.
And
At
Oh,
least
yeah,
with the
for sure.
basics, right?
Yeah.
With Nintendo GameCube,
But I guess it's more just about design philosophy. Like, what kind of stuff can you do with VR? We're still kind of trying to figure that out.
truly
Yeah, true. That is true.
console.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Here's how. 3D pictures are created in what is commonly called a pipeline, with several different functions performed separately. It may be easier to think about this as a conveyor belt or an assembly line. Creating 3D graphics has always meant overcoming delays or bottlenecks in the technology. It is like having one person missing from the assembly line. All work will slow down or stop. Some manufacturers imply that they can overcome such bottlenecks simply with more powerful processors or faster graphics chips. But this is not so. All they do is make the assembly line run faster.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To happen sooner or more often. That's why Nintendo has never agreed to argue our technical specifications. We do not quote a figure for peak performance, as others do, because this only measures a machine's ability to draw a type of empty polygon that would never appear in a game. It is
That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Instead, we worked with world-class design partners, IBM, ATI, Gnosis, Matsushita, and NEC, to design Gamecube, above all, to eliminate the troublesome bottlenecks. We did not concern ourselves with peak performance, but rather the constant, reliable performance, which is most important to game developers.
Yes, they're really trying to sell out and being very friendly to devs.
Yeah.
Which is probably true, to be fair.
Ever devoted device for 3D. In fact, we expect that in future generations of technology, this architecture will become an industry standard for all video game devices. The first example of this is the new Panasonic system designed for the Japanese market, which will incorporate the exact GameCube technology with CD and DVD devices. In real game terms, Nintendo GameCube delivered the best performance ever. Developers aren't fighting this machine. They are loving this machine. Of course, it is up to the developers themselves to decide whether we have accomplished our goal. But I believe the following comments from 3 of the world's best game creators show that we are well on our way.
Okay, I'm curious who those would be.
Yeah.
Of the specs and the layout,
Eternal Darkness?
they were in utter shock.
Seems like it, yeah.
That's true. That was on the GameCube. That's true.
I didn't realize it came out that early in the GameCube life, though.
How easy we feel it's going to be to work with. The new technology is designed by people that understand games. This is games hardware brought to us by a games company.
I think Sony has given everyone a chisel, and they can create this piece of artwork with a chisel. If you make one mistake, you can't erase that mistake. Where the Nintendo is like a pencil, where you can go through, create your world. If you make mistakes, it's easy to go back and optimize things the way you need to optimize them.
People are going to be able to focus on creating the game rather than, struggling with the hardware. It's basically going to be an incredibly powerful machine that's going to be easy to program, and say you get 90% of the maximum peak out of it straight out of the box.
Of course, people see Metroid and they're like, yeah, Metroid. It's okay, you guys will be getting Prime soon.
Sit there and worry about coming up with the technology and milking the hardware. It'll allow you to
When did Prime come out? Was Prime 2001?
I think it was 2001. It might have been 2002.
Optimize the system to make the best video game performance rather than the best polygon performance.
I do like how they're taking this angle of like kind of putting down Sony and probably Microsoft for trying to have their specs be super high. They're like, yeah, we're not super high, but our games are just better.
Right, well, better and easier for the devs to work on. Hey, look, it's Dinosaur Planet.
Yeah.
Or what it became, at least.
Really start to come to the forefront, and I think it's a time where the people really.
But yeah, you're right. They're kind of going for that route, which I think is pretty interesting.
We are able to very closely deliver what we really want to show the players. You know, it's wonderful for our designers. You've seen the sort of things that we can do with N64. I mean, this is a whole order of magnitude better. This is the first 3D platform that really will give us the ability to show you what we want to show.
The graphics people saw how the technology guys were active, started talking to them and said, so what does this mean we can do? And then when they found out, their eyes lit up and you could just see them starting to drain.
I don't know what that one is.
I'm not sure.
Is that supposed to be Cameo?
Maybe.
So that came out, but that was the 360 game though. And they're showing like Diddy Kong Racing stuff as well. That's interesting. I wonder if some of those are supposed to be planned, but that never happened.
I would assume so, probably, yeah.
So the Cameo was the Rare game. So if it was supposed to be GameCube, I could see them moving it to the 360 when they got bought out by Xbox like years later.
Yeah, no, it must have been like at least an early prototype at that point. I'm assuming they were probably mostly working on Star Fox Adventures, but yeah.
What Nintendo Gamecube does is absolutely promote innovation. And there's nobody that's been spending more time innovating than Mr.
Hey Megan, I'm just kind of curious. How close is your mic to your face? I'm a little curious because you sound quieter to me for some reason.
I don't know. It was like maybe 3 inches away. I moved it a little closer.
Okay, now you sound a bit more normal. Pikmin.
Oh, nice.
Or at least more loud to me. Because I don't know, you were sounding like a little quiet, but I thought it was just on my end. But I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Because I don't know, I know sometimes when we like, well, not record, but sometimes when we're just hanging out, you're like, yeah, I have like the mic 5 feet away from my mouth. Like it's completely gone. And I'm like, why? Because I'm laying down.
I just don't like it like right in front of my mouth, so usually I move it out a little bit. I probably moved it out a little bit while we were eating.
I probably. It just makes you sound more clear, which I like.
Well, yeah, no, it's fair. I'll try to keep that more in mind.
Man's like, I don't give a shit if you hear me, actually, man. I only care about keeping my mic away from my mouth. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So, notice how they picked up a strawberry. That's pretty interesting, because I don't think that's in Pikmin 1 at all. I don't think they had, like, fruit. I think it was, like, a Pikmin 2 thing. Like, I know this is, like, a very early Pikmin tech demo, probably. But, like, I love Pikmin a lot. One of my favorite games in the GameCube, actually. So, like, seeing this, it's like, wow. So cool.
Well, yeah, and I guess this would have been pretty impressive for the time for how many different models are being animated at once.
Yeah. Oh, and that was back when the Wollywog transformed into a pellet. I guess they didn't want you to carry the body back for that one. Or they just didn't, I don't know, maybe they thought transforming into a pellet was better?
Maybe?
I don't know, I'm intrigued. The game that gets a sequel like every decade.
Yeah, I know, right? We're almost getting 4 right away.
Probably a few out in this audience who were more than a little mystified when you first saw Pokemon, but it turned out okay, didn't it? I think we should have the creator of this, Mr. Miyamoto, come back out and give you
Did they think that Pikmin was going to be the new Pokemon? Hmm.
And possibly. I mean, at the very least, they're saying like, okay, we know it looks weird, but we did Pokemon correctly, right? Trust us.
Yeah.
We have been challenging ourselves in many ways lately to try to come up with something that's truly unique. But it's really difficult. Well, today, I don't think I can show you something that's totally unique. I think this is at least something that's kind of new. Now, let me explain Pikmin to you. Actually, today, I have the main programmer, Mr. Colin Reed from EAD, who's here with us today. Colin? So if there's any problem with the program here today, it's Colin's fault.
Oh, no pressure.
Colin is actually going to use the Wavebird to play the game for us.
Okay, got to demo that a bit.
That's fair.
The theme of this game is based off of
I imagine a lot of people will be pretty skeptical about how well a controller would work if it's not plugged into the console.
Probably.
crash landed on a distant planet, and he's run into these creatures, kind of plant-like.
I had the day one thing like on the bottom of the screen in this one. That's interesting.
Travel around the planet, find the parts.
That's usually in the upper right corner. I believe upper right. I know it's in the upper corner at least.
Kind of a sprout there poking up out of the ground. This is a Pikmin. Now the Pikmin, like ants, work in groups. They can also be planted in the ground and grown from sprout to leaf to bud and flower. Now let's pull this Pikmin out of the ground.
That's a bit of a different sound. I don't think they have that in the base game.
Yeah, the pop is interesting.
Now, in order to give orders to this Pikmin, you'll use the B button. And you throw them out there.
Chuck them.
And then to call them back, you'll just press the A button.
I want to say they reversed that in the base game. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Pikmin on the GameCube. But I want to say it's actually the opposite. I think you throw it with A and call them back with B.
Now this is a pellet that's popped out of the flower. And we'll have the Pikmin carry this. Bring that back to the nest there. Heave, ho, heave, ho.
It's a lot for one little Pikmin to carry, okay?
Hey, he's got some new friends coming out there. And if you pay close attention here, you'll see them sprout out and kind of grow. Now let's call all the Pikmin out.
Okay, yeah, you can't do that in the game. You gotta pluck them all individually.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, I think I'd like more.
Larger ones take a few more Pikmins. And I wonder how many. Hey, there's a 5 there. That's easy. Let's try it with 5 of them. Oh, there we go. They got it. There's a larger one there. A 10. That one, I don't think we can quite move just yet. So I think we're going to need about...
Honestly, I kind of thought he might throw the last one on the 10 just to show that it can't move it by itself.
I like you say that as he's doing it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it sooner. But okay. Oh, poor little guy, no! He's trying so hard.
Maybe there's some red Pikmins around. Hey, these guys can help out. Yeah, there's a lot of red ones here.
Lazy Reds.
Let's get them to help these blue ones out.
They're lazy?
Well, I mean, they're not doing anything right now.
Oh, okay.
They're not lazy in the game, though. Don't worry.
I don't know. I think he threw more than 10 to move that.
So, as you can see here, when you give the orders, the Pikmins work really hard. Just like the members of our development teams. So gradually you're going to increase the number of Pikmins that you have. And again, in this game, we're using the C-stick, this time to move the group of Pikmins.
Oh, that's cool.
Now let's move along here. You can also use the C-stick to dodge your enemies. And
Yeah, so C-stick is functioning a bit differently. They're all going like a straight line. Whereas in the game, as it's released, I believe they just like move as like a group in that direction.
Yeah.
Which is better, I think.
Well, as I say, maybe through development they decided it's better to move as a group because it's a little bit easier to predict on how they'll move if you're trying to dodge enemies or around obstacles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
and they'll climb up these sticks.
Which I personally agree with, because them moving in a line, yeah, it makes it a little awkward.
A bit.
We can even grab some blue ones here. And they'll even go and tear down walls and things like that. So as they go and they continue to break down this wall here, they can also, you can have other groups at the same time.
Okay, that's cute.
Or even building forts. They can do a lot of different things. So this is a game where you gradually influence the world, the environment around you. Come on, guys. Come on, keep going. Maybe we can show what's on the other side of that wall.
Nah, those don't come down that fast with that many Pikmin.
I mean, they must have changed the timing.
I mean, probably for the demo that they're showing, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, when you have a lot of Pikmin here, you can actually take some and store them back in the nest. It's really easy to do.
It's a bit harder to tell. I feel like the bulbs and the flowers are actually a little bit bigger in this than in the base game. Now, it's kind of hard to tell with the quality, mind you.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're bigger.
So you can actually manage hundreds of Pikmin in this way. So we're actually going to go and see the Pikmins when they actually get into a fight with some of their enemies. But first I want to tell you a little something here. I've recently moved into a new house. And ever since then I've been really busy gardening. So I've got quite an attachment to these kind of plant-like, ant-like creatures. And the three colors of these Pikmin actually represent different natures. And as you plant them in the ground and they grow, their different forms, the leaf, bud, and flower, are going to represent different characteristics. So now we're back to the game screen here. You can see here the background scenery is very beautiful and very realistic.
Yeah.
And we took the resources for these materials from my own neighborhood, from the mountains and the gardens around my house. Nice.
Yeah, look how that moves as the Pikmin go through it. Really, really beautiful.
When night comes, they're going to be eaten by the enemies that surround their homes. So
Oh no.
we can't go do something about those enemies. So if we attack the enemy from the front, all these Pikmins are just going to get gobbled right up.
Goodbye, Pikmin. Sacrificial Pikmin.
No. Oh.
That's not going too well.
Run away. Little Pikmin goes, so this is so cute. I like how you're shaking them off.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yay.
The one's still alive, but yeah.
Tomorrow at the show floor, I'd like all of you to see just how many Pikmin you can collect. And who knows, maybe after the show, when you get back home and you look in your own backyards, there may be Pikmin crawling around there too. But if not, you won't have
They're taking the body of their enemy back to their base.
Consume.
That's Pikmin.
He looks a little awkward, but like being carried away with his eyes just open like that is kind of creepy.
A little bit. He brought the whistle nice. Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah. Oh.
It's okay. VHS tapes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Development is well underway on dozens of excellent games for Nintendo Gamecube, and gamers will be playing them soon. Full-scale Nintendo Gamecube launches will occur in Japan on September 14th, in the United States on November 5th.
That's pretty close to timeline for this time.
It is, yeah.
And in Europe early next year.
Oh,
Poor Europe.
Our function at this meeting today.
See, but you can tell though, right? Like back then it was like, oh, the console would come out in North America in like a year after-ish, roughly. Now it's getting closer, right? To like a global launch.
Yeah.
Our annual financial announcement in Japan 8 days from today, when we will reveal pricing information for Nintendo Gamecube hardware and software, and details on our launch quantities. And more innovation will be on display when our Space World exhibition takes place in Tokyo in August. I certainly hope you enjoy your chance to try both Game Boy Advance and Nintendo Gamecube on the show floor starting tomorrow. And thank you for having me here today.
Hell yeah. Hey, what I miss you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that every E3 he's out. I hope people are prepared for that.
Let you all do that tomorrow, and have you get out and discover for yourselves the real joy of playing the wonderful software that runs on this system. And as he said, if you're looking for more innovation beyond what you're going to see at this show, and you're going to see lots of it here, the big event is last week in August in Tokyo, Nintendo Space World. But for the here and now, remember again, the launch is only 4 months away with that world debut in Japan, followed by the North American launch less than 60 days after. And it's going to arrive with the absolute best lineup of games ever for a Nintendo console, because it's already the developer system of choice.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that heard him say council.
Council.
Because I'd hear someone in the audience say console. Okay, what's this?
How do you keep making the greatest games? You start with a platform.
They must have had the idea for Diddy Kong Racing 2.
Yeah, I mean, that would have made a lot of sense if they actually had kept Rare as one of their developers. I'm sure they would have released it.
Probably.
Add a generous helping of pure Nintendo fun, and you call it GameCube.
I do find it interesting that they didn't actually reveal a price, though.
Yeah, it's a bit weird that they're kind of holding on to it until another show, considering it comes out in 4 months, right? I feel
Yeah, it's
like,
only a few months.
Yeah, like I feel like now you need a price like pretty early on if you're gonna get people to buy into it.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe they were hoping what they showed today would wow people enough to tide them over until they could finalize the price.
Maybe. I mean, to be fair, hey, it probably worked.
I think probably.
Rogue Squadron, such a good game, is Rogue Squadron.
I've heard, I've never played it.
I have them.
Well, then I guess we'll have to play them.
Yeah, I don't know what Raven
Well,
Blade
that's cool.
is.
I don't know either.
Wave Race. Yeah, hell yeah. See, I like Wave Race Blue Storm, and I liked it. I don't know if it was not as good as Wave Race 64, but still pretty good. IMO. And I just love how people see Wave Race and they're like, yeah. Also, Ravenblade was canceled, apparently.
Oh, that's a shame. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it was made by Retro Studios, which is why that one guy, I guess, is going, oh, it's retro. This is retro. Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, see? They did have... So they're showing a couple of canceled games here, then.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's weird that they were bold enough and confident enough to say, hey, it's happening at E3, but then they get canceled later. I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder, because like Microsoft didn't buy out Rare like that early, did they?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's see if I could find it while we're watching this.
So apparently Ravenblade was canned to give the company more time for Metroid Prime.
Oh, that makes sense. So according to Google, Microsoft bought Rare September 24, 2002 for $375 million. So, yeah, it must have got canceled pretty early in development, because they were probably still working on Star Fox Adventures at this point. So they probably started working on Diddy Kong, but didn't get far enough into it, and then just got canceled at that point. Double Dash!
Well,
not yet, but it will be.
Yeah, I was gonna say it will be. It doesn't look like it's Double Dash quite yet.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because so far we've seen like 2 canceled games here, right? Or
yeah,
3.
I think so.
See, Cameo. See, it was Cameo. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what happened then, because yeah, it came out on 360 much later.
It's interesting this prototype of Zelda they had, huh?
Yeah, I guess this was before they... Because they're making it look a lot like the N64 Ocarina designs.
Yeah.
So this must have been pretty early before they decided, hey, cel-shaded.
Yeah, maybe they were originally intending to do like a true sequel to Ocarina of Time, and then they decided, no, we're gonna do something different.
Maybe. Oh, the spinning text.
The spinning text, no! That's so obnoxious.
Oh my god. Cruising MJD, you put a good video up, but I don't know. I'm not too sure about their titles. I don't know. They seem too retro. But so that was the conference. So what do you think of? Now we can't really say much about the Microsoft one, unfortunately, because we don't have enough to really be able to say what it was like. But we can talk about the Nintendo one. So what do you think of the Nintendo press conference? Because now we're getting to the point where now we can decide who wins, Megan. So we got to keep all these in mind to decide who wins the conferences, based on your opinion and my opinion, of course. Because I mean, that was kind of a big thing. Like, for those that don't know, like, I know I interrupted Megan. I'm sorry, but I kind of want to say so. I apologize. I'm a little rude sometimes. I'm sorry. But like around this, like E3 was always, you would always have people debate who won E3. Which I know might sound really weird, but I know that was like a big thing when E3. For anybody who watches this in the future, like way in the future, when E3 is like actually proper dead. Yeah, that was kind of a big thing of like, well, who won that year's E3? I remember Nintendo getting it a lot actually, based on what I've read and what I remember. But yeah, now Megan and I get to give our own opinions about that. So. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I won't interrupt you anymore. Okay. No, I was just going to say, from the stuff they showed at the conference between like how the GameCube itself works, obviously between the wireless controllers, the fact that you can use the Game Boy Advance's controllers, they didn't show a lot about the Game Boy Advance itself, but I guess that's because it was coming out in about a month. Probably. But like even like a lot of the games we saw that we know came out, like Star Fox Adventures and Melee and Pikmin and like, well, eventually Mario Kart and stuff, like a lot of those were really big titles on the GameCube. Yeah.
So they definitely showed a lot of really good stuff. I'm kind of curious on how Sony's gonna compare, and I guess we'll see when we get to that.
Yeah, that is going to be really interesting. I do think this conference by Nintendo, I think they did a really good job because I don't know, this conference was really good, very informative. They showed off a lot of good games, and the crowd was really hype, like all the way through. And I love Miyamoto. I absolutely love Miyamoto and Iwata. Like they're both great. I just love Miyamoto's energy, right?
Yeah.
I love how like he'll come out and he's literally like the main man at Nintendo, but yet he's not like afraid to come out and literally just be like a kid having fun on stage, just playing his game and showing it off, right? Like I really respect that from him, and like spoilers for like later E3s, he does that a lot, right? Which I love. He's such a good guy. So like just seeing more of that like here, even way back in 2001, that's like, yeah, fun.
Yeah.
But I'm really surprised that all of the canceled games that we got in this, you know, like Cameo, I don't remember how you're supposed to pronounce it. Diddy Kong Racing, Raven Blade, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised because you don't. Like, I mean, yeah, you'll get some games that show up that then end up being canceled later, but I wasn't really expecting to see that here, right? Especially since I know Cameo comes out later for the 360. So, like I said, personally, I'm not really sure what happened, but I love, and I'll yeah, that's my gamer cred right there that I saw it. Didn't even know it was possibly going to come to GameCube. And I'm like, that looks like Cameo, even though I haven't really played Cameo since it came out. But I like that. And all I saw was like some kind of elven looking woman. And I'm like, is that Cameo? Man, weird. I don't know why I thought that. I promise I didn't like watch any of this ahead of time. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. And I will say, I think Diddy Kong Racing looked like it could have been fun based on the CG trailer that we got.
Yeah.
Because it looked like you rode like the rhino and the bee and the wasp, I guess. Yeah. I could ramble on probably, but overall, Nintendo's press conference really good. We'll have to keep it in mind when we do Sony's. And see, okay, Megan, I'm gonna put it like this, right? I think you're gonna say Sony wins, right? And I only say that because you really like a lot of games from Sony that I'm pretty sure coming around this period. So. And I think you were more of a PlayStation person than you were like Nintendo or Microsoft, right?
Well, yeah, I did play a lot more PlayStation games because, like, when it came to Nintendo stuff, most of the stuff I played would have been on the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color. So mostly Pokemon with a couple other games, but I played a lot more variety when it came to Sony games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to predict this. I think you're going to say Sony, that PlayStation wins. I'm still up in the air. I'm not really too sure. That GameCube one, like the Nintendo here really got me. I'm like, you're showing me Luigi's Mansion. You're showing me Melee. You're giving me like Iwata and Miyamoto. And you're giving me just like fun little looks at these games that I know are going to be good. Like the Zelda. Which, like you said, may have meant to be like another sequel to Ocarina, or at least done in the same style. Which now, in hindsight, looking at it, I could see why people may have been a bit pissed off when Wind Waker was cel shaded. I loved it, I still do. But for those that don't know, when the Wind Waker eventually came out, people hated it because they said it looks bad, right? People were like, oh, it looks too cartoony. And if you saw this and you knew what like it could have been, yeah, I could see them being a little bit upset. But I think they made the right decision going cel shaded. Yeah. We'll have to see whenever that gets brought up at an E3. Maybe that'll come up in 2002. I don't know when it came out. Was Wind Waker 2002 or 2004 or 3? Shoot, I don't even know.
I want to say it was 2002 or no, it might be 2004. I think you're right.
Well, something is telling me 2004, and I don't know why. Right, but like I'm getting that vibe. I'm getting that feeling. of like 2004. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we'll see it during a conference at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. I like that. I like that a lot. So, Megan, should we wrap this up?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
All right. So, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. But for now, it is time we cue the outro. So, frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.